Here we have a SAT math problem. Okay, let's go to the question. 2x square positive 8x negative m cube equals to 0. In the quadratic equation above, m is a constant. If the roots of the equation are equal, then what is the value of m? The question says m in the given quadratic equation is a constant. Then we have to consider the x as a variable. Okay, here the roots of this quadratic equation are the values of the variable x. And when I solve any quadratic equation, the maximum number of roots will be 2. And the question says for this quadratic equation, both the roots are equal. In that case, we have to find the value of m. Now, let me consider a quadratic equation in standard form. That is ax square positive bx positive c equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation in standard form. As I said earlier, the maximum number of roots for a quadratic equation will be 2. And if both the roots are equal, then the value of the discriminant b square into 4ac will be equal to 0. And when I consider the quadratic equation given over here, it is in standard form because this one is exactly in this form. And since the roots of the given quadratic equation are equal, then the value of this discriminant b square into 4ac for this quadratic equation also must be 0. Okay, to get the value of b, we have to consider the coefficient of x. And for the value of a, we have to consider the coefficient of x square. And for c, we have to consider the constant term. Okay, here for b, we have to consider the coefficient of x. Then we get 8 square. That is for b square. Negative 4 times for a, we have 2. And for c, we have negative m cube equals to 0. Okay, the value of 8 square is 64. And 4 times 2 is 8. That is, we get negative 8. And negative times 8 will be positive 8m to the third power equals to 0. Our aim is to solve for m. Okay, let's isolate m in this equation. Let me subtract 64 from both sides of this equation. This positive 64, negative 64 will cancel out. 8 times m cube equals to negative 64. Let me divide both sides of this equation by 8. Then this 8 will cancel out, and m cube equals to negative 64 divided by 8 is just negative 8. Okay, now to get of the exponent 3, we have to take a cube root on both sides of this equation. Okay, let me do it. On the left side, the cube root and the cube will cancel out. I am getting m on the left side, and cube root of this negative 8 inside the cube root can be written as negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Okay, when I multiply this negative 2 and negative 2, I am getting positive 4. Positive 4 times negative 2 is I am getting negative 8, the value we have over here. And whenever we have a cube root, for every 3 same numbers multiplied inside the cube root, one number can be taken out. Okay, here we have 3 same numbers multiplied inside the cube root. That is negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. And one negative 2 can be taken out of the cube root. Okay, here I got the value of m, that is negative 2. We find this negative 2 in answer choice D. The correct answer choice for this question is D.